Hey everybody, welcome back to another skills video by your one and only Lucas Liu, second year advanced student from class of 2026. That's me. Alright guys, we're here to talk about the Hollyland pyro transmission system. Actually not a system, it's an ecosystem. So yeah, here we have the Pyro 5 kit, and the 5 just means how big the screen is on the kit. There is two kits like this. There's one called the Pyro 5 and the Pyro 7. We have the Pyro 5 here with us today. And what this is an all-in-one video transmission ecosystem. Yes, what does that mean? Let's get into it right now. So this top part is going to be your accessories. Your antennas are going to be here. Your power supply is going to be here, among other things like a wall adapter, USB-C cable, other stuff. These two here are going to be grips. You're actually not going to really need these, unfortunately, so wasted space, I know. But here is the meat and bones of it all. We have one receiver, one transmitter, and one LCD screen. So yeah, let's set these all down and let's talk about these. So what is video transmission on a film set? Video transmission is the way for your director, your assistant director, your producer, your client, your first AC, for all these people to see what the camera is seeing. And now, throughout the years, there's been many ways to do it, and the most common way is using a transmitter and a receiver. So our transmitter is our red one, and our receiver is our blue one, and they're pretty easy to set up. There are two ways to power these transmitters and receivers. The first way is going to be via an NPF battery on the back plate, or is using a wired connection via a 16-volt plug. These guys plug in, you lock them down, and you plug it into a V-mount, a camera splitter, all that good stuff. The first thing we're going to want to do is to get the power in. Today, we're going to be powering them off NPF batteries. Remember, our brass plugs go into the other brass ports in here. You plug it in, and it locks in just like that. Let's get our second one, plug in, all ready to go. These are turning on automatically, as you can see, because we have it set on, but you can turn them on and off like you would a normal device. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to plug in these antennas. These two sets are almost identical. They actually are identical physically, but inside the internal components, they're a little bit different. You plug in these antennas the same. You just screw these in. Just like so. So now that you have a power source and the antennas plugged in, you're almost ready to go. Now, let's talk about the menu. So these on themselves are a little underwhelming, but you're going to want to be using this with, first, a camera, and second, a monitor. We don't have those with us today for the purpose of this demonstration, but I'll still talk about how this works. Basically, on the transmitter side, this goes on the camera. You're going to plug this into the output of the camera, whether that be an SDI output or an HDMI output. These can handle both. As you can see right here, there's an HDMI in and an SDI in. So there are many different ways to bring signal into this transmitter. And what this does is once you plug in your HDMI or your SDI output, it will send the video frequency to the receiver. And the receiver also has two ports on the side, just like these ones, except this is an HDMI out and an SDI out. Do you guys see the workflow here? This goes in, this goes out. It bridges the connection between the two. On the side here, you're going to plug this into an external monitor of sorts, even an external recorder of sorts, if you would like. You can use these for live streaming, monitoring, or archival footage. So yeah, in its simplest terms, this is it. But now let's talk about the monitor, because this is not any normal camera monitor. This is the Pyro 5-inch monitor. And What that means is that this single camera monitor is also a transmitter and a receiver. This is where the magic happens. To power the Hollyland Pyro 5 monitor, you're going to need the same thing here. You're going to need an MPF battery and an antenna, which I don't have. I got to go grab it. The antennas for the Pyro 5 are these short little stubby ones, and these are actually quick release antennas. I really hope they had them for these ones, but they don't. It's very simple. You look at the top here, there's 2 antenna ports. There's 2 other antenna ports on the top here. You just click it in, and you're good to go. Just to note, by plugging in the antennas, you are now turning this monitor into a receiver or a transmitter. You can use the monitor without the antennas at all, and it'll just be a normal camera monitor. This camera monitor is actually really great. I believe it is a 4K screen. It's very bright. It's very useful. Again, to power this, you can also use a DC input, and it also takes SDI in and HDMI out and HDMI in, as your normal camera monitor would. For the purposes of today's demonstration, we're using another MPF battery. Now that we have everything plugged in, we're ready to go to see how this works. So, this is where the magic happens. I'm saying that a bunch because this is a big deal. This is a huge deal. On an early production we did last year called Iron Gun Final Vendetta, we used wireless video. But in this photo you're going to see right here, our camera was very clunky. We had basically one of these and a monitor on the same camera. This makes it heavy, bulky, and honestly kind of ugly. It's like a big pineapple on our beautiful cinema camera rig. We don't like that. So what this does is that it condenses both of them, and now we get an all-in-one system, and a camera monitor that also transmits or receives signal. This is really big. On the monitor, you can use this as any normal camera monitor. You can watch our videos on the small HD monitors. It does the same thing, except with the added functionality of the antennas. So let's talk about how we can set this up. This screen right here just tells you that it's on. Now, you want to click up here to this menu area. It says no video right now because there's no video, but this brings up the menu where we're going to want to go to the wireless section. So like I said, you can use this as a transmitter or a receiver. The optimal way is to use this on your camera as your camera monitor and also use it as a transmitter, therefore deleting the purpose of this unit. We don't need this anymore now that we have these. Now, what this does is it's transmitting signal to this device right here while also acting as our camera monitor. This is big news. Big news. This is great. To ensure this is set up, you just have to go to the wireless section and make sure you're on the right channel. So right now, we are getting no video because we have nothing plugged in. But this system is really great at finding each other. Right now, they're all on channel 1. We can switch to channel 1 on the monitor. And now we're all speaking to the same thing. Everyone is all on the right signal. Everyone is talking to each other at the moment. So now, say we were to put this on a camera, it's transmitting signal to this device, where then the rest of the crew can watch, your director can monitor, stuff like that. It's all great. You can put this on a monitor, a TV, external recorder, whatever floats your fancy. So now let's talk about the other implication about using the monitor as a receiver. So say you have multiple of these kits. You can hand one of these things to your director to use as an all-in-one director's monitor. They don't need a big screen with a big battery and a big receiver anymore. They can just use this one single device. That's why this is big news, because this is great. The director can use this as a director's monitor. The first AC can use this as a focus pulling monitor. There's a whole lot of implications for these. And this is why the Hollyland Pyro 5 system is so great, because it is expandable. I can buy multiple monitors, multiple receivers, multiple transmitters, and it can all talk to each other. You can do multicam setups. You can do one camera in like 16 different monitors. It's going to be great. So for the purposes of what we need in class, this is perfect. You put this on your camera, and someone else can monitor via an external monitor. This is great. If you have more screens, more receivers, more transmitters, it also all talks to each other, no latency. It's wonderful. You can focus pull on these. It's great. So yeah, this is a basic overview of the Hollyland Pyro transmission ecosystem. There's a whole bunch of different accessories in there. They're pretty self-explanatory, like this is the sunshade. You just put it on the bracket here, click it into place, and you expand this out. There is a little magnetic flap here. You're going to want to be facing that on the outside, facing you on the bottom. And you just kind of push it in there. Just like that. Now you have a cool little sunshade if you want to shoot in the sun. And this little magnetic flap just lets you access the bottom menu here. It's pretty simple. There's a bunch of billion different ways to power these using the DC inputs, the MPF batteries, and all those accessories are inside of the kit. So yeah, now let's talk about striking. It's very simple. For the monitor, all you have to do is take the sunshade out and fold it back into itself. Make sure you power the camera off, make sure you power the monitor off and unplug the antennas. And we're going to put this back inside the kit. Just like that. It goes right in that big slot over there. Our power adapters, our antennas, they all go inside this top pocket here. It'll all fit. Might be a tight squeeze, but trust me, it'll fit. Your antennas, they go in there, as well as these guys. Antennas go inside that big compartment there. The battery comes off, and you put it back inside here. Same for this guy over here. Antennas in the kit, battery disconnected, transmitter in the kit. Pretty easy. Once you have everything in there, you lock it up, fold it in, take it to the gear case. So yeah, this is how you use the Hollyland Pyro transmission ecosystem. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one. Peace out.